Comparing ourselves to our high school bodies is probably the cruelest thing that we can do to ourselves. And yet, we all do it. We're getting ready in the morning and then we catch ourselves in the mirror and all of a sudden we stop, look, and then we're doing math and we're thinking, I used to be this size in high school and I used to weigh this much and I can't wear those tops that I like anymore because my body is weird and doesn't fit the way I want to. And it's not a conscious choice, but it happens and it's exhausting. It's not like we're trying to compare ourselves. It's not like we're trying to live in this world of self-hatred. We'll just be living in our bodies and existing, and then all of a sudden our brain decides to remind us of a version of our body that we probably didn't fully appreciate at the time. But our routines change, our metabolism changes, our habits change, our lives change. And yet mentally we're still stuck comparing ourselves to a body that existed in a completely different environment where we had different responsibilities, different habits, and different hormones. So let's talk about why that comparison is not only unfair, but it's kind of cruel. And what might happen if we just decide to let that version of ourselves go. In case you're new here, my name's SK, and welcome to Heart Static, the podcast where we tune into the background noise of our thoughts, feelings, and everything we're too afraid to say out loud. So today we're going to be talking about something that all of us quietly kind of carry, the grief for a body that doesn't exist anymore. And even though we know better, we just can't help but compare ourselves to it. As seniors in high school, we're warned about the terrifying freshman 15, where we gain 15 pounds within the first year of college, as if gaining weight is something to be scared of. I didn't take working out seriously in high school. I wasn't an athletically gifted kid. Going to the gym wasn't even something that I registered as a way to pass my time. But moving to college for the first time, living on my own, trying to determine what I have to eat, relying on the dining hall for the first few years, or buying my groceries later, learning what it's like to make habits for myself, it was hard. Our routines are completely different than what we had in high school. I think back sometimes now, I'm like, how the hell did I wake up at 6 in the morning every morning to go to class until, 2:33, and then do all these extracurriculars, then come home, eat dinner, shower, start my homework for the next day, and then go to bed and do it all over again? What did they put in the water? What the fuck? How is that sustainable? How was I able to do that for so long? And, I thought it was normal because everyone was doing it. And I'm sure kids still do it now. Kids. I'm 21. You're still a kid, you're still a kid, you're still a kid. But the routine, the classes that we have in college, it's like one day you'll have an 8 a.m. and that's awful, dreadful. How do I get up in the morning for an 8 a.m.? Blech. Gross. And our class lengths look different. I've had the range of like an hour class to a 3.5 hour class, and then not every class meets every day, and not every day looks the same. Every class meets at different times, and that brings forth irregular sleeping patterns. You're finally away from home and no one's gonna tell you to go to bed, so you stay up all night, or you stay up until 3, or you go drink secretly in your apartment with your friends because it's fun and like no one's gonna tell you to go to bed. And your sleeping patterns are gonna look different too. If you don't have to wake up at the same time every day, I can go to bed at midnight. 1, 2, 3. It's hard to find a motivation to go to bed just to wake up in the morning and then wait until your 1 p.m. class. And then you have to figure out when to eat, because even if you choose, I want to eat at this time every day, maybe I'll have a class one of those days. I remember freshman year, my roommate and I got those like resealable bags of M&Ms that we'd eat every time we were sad because we were stressed or overwhelmed or just sad. So every time one of us would come home and we hear the rattling of the M&M bag, we'd go, oh, she's sad. Me too. Can I get some of those? Pass that bag over. Give me some M&Ms. That's another thing, the stress levels. There's so many less assignments that we have in college than we did in high school, and everything's shortened in half. Midterms in high school were in January, or like winter time, and we have 2 sets of midterms and 2 sets of finals throughout that same year. Everything is rapidly moving, and we're stressed because we want to stay, on the dean's list, have a certain GPA, want to be super smart, but at the same time we also need to rebuild some sort of routine we had in high school with extracurriculars. I have to make friends. How do I make friends? I have to go to all these clubs so I can have something to put on my resume. Why am I thinking about my resume when I am 18 years old? I just got out of high school. I have no idea what I want to do for the rest of my life. I have to figure out what I want to do for the rest of my life when I'm 18? Yes, okay, you can change your major, all this and that. Let me say 2 words to you as an argument to that. Academic advisor. This is going on a bit of a tangent, but I can apply this generally because I know many people from different colleges who have all said, fuck my academic advisor. Because why are you there if you're not going to help me figure out what I have to do for the next semester? Why didn't you tell me this last time I met with you? I remember just recently, I'm in a program right now where I achieved my bachelor's degree this April. And then the next year, I complete my master's degree. Now, the way that they do that is that they take 4 classes from my master's program and wedge it into my undergraduate program so that essentially it's double counted. It hits both sets of requirements. Now, I tried to do this last year, and when I met with my advisor, she said, "You're all in the clear." When I went to apply, I had restrictions that I did not know anything about. No email. The advisor didn't tell me. I didn't know who to email to talk to about it because the websites are all shit too. So I waited until this year, and I decided to get ahead of the game this year, and I scheduled an appointment with her, and I said, "Hey, I experienced restrictions last year. I don't want that to happen again. What do I have to do? Who do I have to email? Give me all the fun stuff that I need to do." And she said, "Oh, honey, why are you so worried? I don't know what those restrictions were for. That's so silly. I'm looking at your degree audit right now, and I don't see any restrictions on here for you, so I think you should be all set. That was weird." Guess what happened next? I went to apply. I clicked submit for my classes, and I got 2 restrictions. Oh, yay! I got 2 restrictions. And I managed to handle it myself. Yay me. But why are you lying to me? Why are you lying to me? I had to say this in this episode because this isn't enough to make a whole episode about, but you feel me, right? You guys get it? Anyway, there's a shit ton of pressure that we experience in college, as specifically freshman year that we're transitioning from, and we have to pick up all these things that we're not learning in class, because what we're learning in class is things we have to remember for the rest of our academic and professional lives. So, we have to learn how to make friends and be charismatic, and what a resume is, and how to handle financial aid, and getting a job, and balancing academic and professional life, and how to eat well, when to work out, how to work out. A bajillion things that no one gives you a script for, and you're just kind of thrown into the water and expected to swim. No floaties. Our lives go through a massive transition after high school, so it only makes sense for our bodies to go through a big shift as well. There are also a lot of changes that we don't see, things that we can't really point to in a mirror and say, that looks different. We have to learn how to take care of ourselves. There's so many habits that were kind of thrown onto us in high school. It was just bing, bang, boom, class, extracurricular, sport, extracurricular, go home, shower, homework, sleep. How did we have time for like high school boyfriends and girlfriends and drama and I don't know how we did all that. And then in college, there's also this big pressure to go out and have fun and meet people and make friends to go on spring break with. And you can't waste all of these fun opportunities for you because FOMO and, you know, social life is important too. We also have to practice discipline with eating meals, what to eat, when to eat it, how much of it to have, how much is enough. What does that look like for me? Some people have dietary restrictions, and then some people develop dietary restrictions in college because bodies are different and change, and then they have to shift through that. And that's also something they have to learn on your own, unless you take like a what to eat food class. I'm sure they have something like that in every college. They have one in mine. Did I take it? No, because that sounds, say it with me, boring as fuck. And I just had to learn that on my own and almost do trial and error with my body because my body doesn't look like her body or his body or their body, and everybody's health looks different. And then there's this one thing that people don't talk about enough: anxiety meds, depression meds, birth control pills. These things can fluctuate your weight and change the way that you look, change the way you think about yourself. And even though you're doing all these things as an act of self-love, you look back at yourself and you can't help but feel bad. And that's gotta be one of the cruelest things. You went on medication to take care of yourself and your body, and now you feel bad because of how you look from it, because you look different. In college, with this newfound independence, you feel more comfortable prioritizing your mental health, seeking therapy or a psychiatrist and getting prescribed meds. Also, because of the stress changes that you're experiencing, you might not have needed anxiety or depression meds in high school, but you need it now because you're going through different things. And you're rewarded with feeling bad about yourself. Love that for you. Comparing yourself to your teenage body is so unfair. The responsibilities you have now are not the ones you had back then. It's possible that when you came home to eat dinner after doing your extracurriculars and your academics and all your other fun stuff, your parents just made dinner for you and you just sat down and ate it and didn't have to think about, you know, what's going in my body? Is this healthy for me? Is this good for me? Blah, blah, blah. It wasn't one of the things that you had to add to your mental load of shit I have to do, because you just came home and ate it with your family or by yourself in your room. However you were as a kid. And your hormones were different too. They were still stabilizing, and your body was living in a completely different environment, a completely different world than you are now. I hope that the way you were in high school is not the way you are now. It's so important to acknowledge that you have grown and changed and shifted in your mindset, in your headspace, in your body, in your life, your way of thinking. It's important to remember that you've shifted and changed and grown since you were in high school. So obviously, your body should mirror that. Social media. We love it. We hate it. I'm sure you've seen those videos of my 5 to 9 before my 9 to 5, where they go on to depict this rigid routine of waking up at 5 a.m. every morning, going on a run, coming home, showering, doing an everything shower, full skincare routine, going to the gym again, journaling, meditating, taking 17 vitamins, all before going to work. And there's more videos now with the weather warming up, people saying how to get shredded for the summer, how to lose weight in 6 weeks, what to eat, literally just do this, this, and this. I've actually seen people make fun of videos like this with the same clickbaity line of like how to glow up, then listing shit like waking up at 3 a.m., going on a run for 50 miles, hitting 200 grams of protein, working for 14 hours, sleeping for 9. And it gets likes because we know it's ridiculous. People know it's unrealistic, but we fall for it anyway because it is everywhere. If you started working out in college and you didn't have body dysmorphia before, You're gonna have it now. Not only because you're comparing yourself to your high school body, but because you're comparing yourself to all the fitness influencers online, all the people you see at the gym, all the gym rats, okay, and the frat bros, okay? And then in the summer you see people at the beach, or you see people running, anyone with their shirt off, and you'll be thinking, damn, I don't look like that, and I don't know if I ever will. Again, it's not on purpose. And I really don't think you'll be thinking, oh, well, their body is different from mine, so it's okay. I don't have to worry about it. If you do, you have trained the hell out of your brain, because our instinct is to compare ourselves and feel bad because we are taught to find motivation in self-hatred. Forming a relationship between motivation and self-hatred leads you into a vicious cycle so that one day you wake up without any motivation, feel bad about yourself, but are unable to get up out of bed in the morning or at night or whenever it is that you decide that you're going to work out, and you'll sit there and feel bad about yourself, but you won't get up because you're burnt out, because you are relying solely on motivation. What actually gets you to the gym every day is discipline, and that is something that you have to maintain, something that you have to work for. And social media, if you're sitting in bed scrolling, deciding not to go to the gym that day, you're going to see everyone your age going to Europe, Japan, running a marathon. What the fuck is up with the 20-year-old to marathon pipeline? Hey, what's up with that? And why do I feel like I need to go do one right now? Have I ever enjoyed running in my life? No. Have I ever thought to myself, wow, today's such a pretty day to go on a run? No. Do I have running shoes? I don't know, maybe they're probably too small and in the back of my closet. But I'm still feeling this pressure to go train for a marathon, right now. The people who push you to do a marathon telling you, oh, it feels so great, you'll feel so great about yourself. I want to put them in the same group as those toxic vegans. The ones who are like, I don't wear fake leather because it's just a mockery of the murders and slaughterings of real animals. Or I don't hang out with non-vegans because they don't appreciate my way of life. So why don't you stay over there in that vegan bubble of yours, and I'm going to be here, not running a marathon, and having the time of my life. People who you compare yourself to, they don't share your lifestyle, and you don't know their lifestyle. Fitness might be their entire life. People with low body fat percentages, all those people in competitions and people who just look super jacked, like walking Ken and Barbie dolls all the time, they have low energy. That's why you see in some videos of like post bodybuilding competition, they're shoving every greasy thing down their throat because they know it's not sustainable to live that way. The people who walk around like walking Ken and Barbie dolls, it's probably for aesthetics only, and it makes up most, if not all, of their life. You have things to worry about other than lifting weights for 6 hours and then going on a marathon run and hyperfixating on every calorie that enters your body. God forbid you walk by and smell a McDonald's. Body dysmorphia is literally a marketing strategy. Companies want you to hate the way you look. They need you to feel like something is wrong with you because they are not selling whatever product it is. They are selling you your insecurity. That doesn't mean that the feelings you have aren't real. They are, but it's worth knowing where they come from. Your body's job is to take you to the good parts of life. That is it. That is the whole job description. It's meant to carry you to a dinner reservation with your friends. It's meant to make you laugh so hard your stomach hurts. It's meant to make you dance badly at a concert and hug someone who needs it, and to stay up late talking about something that matters. It's meant to feel things, the good and the bad things, and keep going. Yes, taking care of your health matters. Moving your body in a way that makes you feel good matters. Eating in a way that makes you feel good matters. But your body's version of healthy isn't the same way other people's versions of healthy will look like. It's not anyone else's body. It's yours. It's your history. It's your genetics. It's your life, your stress, your joy. If you want to chase an aesthetic, that's totally your choice. But please don't take it from a place of punishment or self-hatred. Don't do it because you're trying to go back to a version of yourself that no longer exists. Your body isn't failing you. It's adapting to everything you've thrown at it. Every late night studying or working, every decision you made to show up even when you didn't want to, it came with you through all of that. And as long as you've lived fully and you're working towards living fully, that's enough. So the next time you catch yourself looking at an old photo from high school and feeling like you somehow lost something, I want you to know that that version of you didn't know everything that you know now. They hadn't been through what you've been through. They hadn't carried what you carry. Your body isn't behind. It's just living your actual life with you. That's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for listening. If you like my music, they were made by my friend Dari Kolchitsky, and you can find more of his information at warmglowrecords.com. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to follow this podcast wherever you find yours. Also follow the Instagram at Heartstatic Podcast, where I post clips, updates, and anything you want really. Just DM me and let me know. If you're not watching this on YouTube, come on over on YouTube where you can watch me yap about feelings and comment on the videos and like it and all that fun stuff. And if you have suggestions for a future episode, you have something you want to talk about, or something that you've been carrying for a while that you feel that needs to be said out loud, please reach out to me at heartstaticpodcast@gmail.com. I read everything you guys send. Be sure to tune in next time to hear your heart static. I'll see ya.